What's up, y'all? Sparta here, and I want to do a quick video on a few games I think that you should get for the Sony PlayStation Vita. Hold on. My tripod's a bit too close for my liking, but here. Oh, and look at what happens. Fuck it. Now, I've had this for a few years now, as I've said in my review video. And I've had a few, oh shit, I'm in the game, sorry. Now, I've had a few, games that I have loved to play on here, and a few games that aren't so great to play. And I want to talk about the games that I think that are good for this specific, pretty much mini PS4 or PS3. Now, what would you get a PlayStation Vita for? What I would say you'd get a PlayStation Vita for like long-term travel, like traveling for long periods of time, whether it be on a megabus, a Greyhound, or even an airplane. And I've actually used this in those specific cases. When my girlfriend used to live in Nebraska, this is when I first got this, actually. I got this on the Christmas of a Christmas where I decided, you know what? I got shit on the screen, so it's not responding for whatever reason. Oh, wait, no, I only have one page. But essentially, I got this mainly because A, I wanted one for a while, and B, it was convenient to use. And this was back when I had my G2, so that's a long time ago. So, what games do I think you should get as far as what genres specifically do I think you should invest in when it comes to the PlayStation Vita? Now, for me personally, I'm a big fighting game person, so I have to have all my fighting games on here, all the ones that I can get. Like Garo, I'm glad that came to Vita. There's crap on the screen, so it's like jittering out. Sorry about that. So I have to actually use the touchscreen. Street Fighter Alpha 3 as well. That's a great one. Now, I'm actually going to play some of these games, but I'm just going to talk about specific games that in particular that I like. Now, there's one fighting game that I don't have on here, and that's Dead or Alive 5 Plus, which is just DOA 5 for the Vita. It looks really good. It plays good. It runs at 30 frames, but the game looks really good for a Vita game. It's probably one of the best looking Vita games on the platform. Now there's Tekken 6, which is a PSP game. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is also that. Darkstalkers Chronicles is that as well. The Power Stone Collection is as well. UMVC 3 is a Vita game. Exalt Guilty Gear Double X is a PS Vita game. It has trophies and stuff. So I guess I'll get into what to play. I guess I'll play Alpha 3. I haven't played Alpha 3 in a while. See, now even I haven't played this, so it deleted my data, which I didn't really play it that much anyway. Now, what happens in this is that it'll basically go into a PSP emulator and just emulate the game. It doesn't have any dropped frames or anything that's terrible. The game plays really well still. And it just feels as it did on my Vita or my PSP. Oh God. And that's essentially what that's essentially it as far as, the fighting games in this list. Now, as far as the RPGs go, there's also some games on here, some games that I don't have on here that are also RPGs. Like I don't have Freedom Wars on here because I deleted it for the sake of being able to download Berserk Band of the Hawk, the band, which is like it came out like last month. I decided I wanted it because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit of a weeb, and I've always wanted to get into Berserk, and this is a very great way to get into that universe. It sums it up very well, and it pretty much just goes to where they get on the boat to get on their 7-year voyage to the fairyland of Elfhelm or whatever the fuck. And it's a really nice. It's $40, but it's well worth the money. I beat this game in about 14 and a half hours. Now, Persona 4 Golden is also a great addition to the Vita because if you guys like RPGs and you like very stylized games, this is a very good game. It plays well, is very intuitive, it feels good to play. And just the overall aesthetic of Persona is very like unique in that it's very colored and whatnot. And I know that kind of sounded racist, but that's not what I meant. And I really can't wait for Persona 5. I just finished my pre-order for that, and it comes out next Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget what day. But it comes out one of those days. Got God Eater 2. This is the Japanese import version, so you don't get English subtitles. You get English subtitles, but all the menus are still in Japanese. I still play this because I know the overall layout of each menu is pretty much the same as God Eater Resurrection, so I'm able to get through it. And one of my favorite games of all time, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I can't tell you how many platforms I have this freaking game on. I have it for my Sega Saturn. I have it for my PS1. I had it for the PSP with the Dracula X Chronicles, where it just had its own version of the game that allowed you to play as Richter and Maria after you beat the game. Got Strider 2, which is a very fun PS1 game. So I guess the game I'll get into is actually Strider 2. And games load really quick. Games are really well optimized, and people may tell you that there are no games for the Vita, but that's not true at all. You get a lot, and I guess what they mean by that there aren't many like exclusive games for the Vita, whereas like there are a very good amount of games that are for the Vita but are also for the PS4, and they tend to be cross-buy and whatnot. Therefore, you essentially just you buy it on one console, it'll be on another. Berserk isn't that way. I wished it was, but it's cross save, which means that you could just transfer your save from your PS4 to your Vita and your Vita to the PS4 and whatnot. And it just works really intuitively. And if you guys have ever played Strider, it's essentially just like a platformer, I guess you can call it. Yeah, I beat this game quite a bit, so I kind of have pro strats on it with it. My glasses are literally falling off my face right now. Let me pause this. Oh yeah, the level ended. Levels are pretty quick. Well, like not levels, but like parts of stages are pretty quick. So it's not like the longest game ever, but keep in mind this is a PS1 game. So you can't necessarily expect it to be like overall like amazing and whatnot. All right. As far as RPGs, it's pretty much the one I'm going to attack. I wouldn't necessarily call it an RPG. I just didn't know where else to put it. Now, this is my adventure game folder. And the adventure games that I have on here right now are the God of War collection, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. I also have Sly 1 and 2. Those are like some of my favorite games on the PlayStation 2 from that era. And I just bought this because it was $3 on the store. So I said, why not? And I also love God of War 1 and 2. So I decided, why not? So the game that I'm going to, and Bentley's Hack Pack, which is just a twin stick shooter. So basically, I'm just going to jump into Sly 3. It's way better optimized than like Sly 4. Sly 4 takes a lot of time to load, which is Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. That's Sly 4. They don't call it Sly 4, but it's Sly 4. It continues the story. Somewhat, but you know. I really don't like the fact that I gotta watch these intros. They kind of get in the way. Oh yeah, and one more thing. You could also load up music on the Vita. So say you want to play a certain game, like you could load up music and play it while you're playing the game, which is a really nice touch. Oh, fuck. I actually gotta do a mission right now. I'm not gonna do the entire mission. I'm just gonna show you guys how it plays. Now it loads as fast as it does as like the PS2 and whatnot, which is very impressive for a portable. The PS2 is the greatest selling console of all time. I'm not gonna call it the greatest console of all time. It definitely isn't. But oh god, I'm gonna pause it here real quick. All right, so the game finally let me get control of it. Sorry about that, you guys. But yeah, as you can see, the right analog stick on the Vita works very fine. So does the left. And it runs at a solid like 30 frames per second, which is very nice. No stutters really in this game, whereas in like Jak and Daxter, there's like, in Jak 1, 2, and 3, there's like a lot of like frame drops and whatnot. But this game runs very well. Now, I'm not going to do this mission because it requires a lot of dialogue. So I don't want to put you guys through that. So I'm just going to exit out of it. All right. So that's 3 out of 4 games that I want to cover. Now, my indie selection is Super Meat Boy, Zeo Drifter, Retro City Rampage DX, which is also on Android as well. So you can just buy it off the Play Store and you can play it on anything you have from tablets. It's not a very demanding game, but it's essentially like a GTA 2 clone, but it's a very fun game. It has a lot of nods to like classic gaming and stuff, and just like 80s stuff in general, like Back to the Future and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that came out before I don't know when it came out. Don't get me wrong, I like Back to the Future. I don't pay attention when stuff comes out. I'm 21. And Shovel Knight. And Shovel Knight is a highly revered game, and it's praised for the right reasons, and I really like it a lot. It's essentially Mega Man slash DuckTales slash any side scroller of the time, so, of like, you know, the retro era, and it's very good. And actually, I'm gonna get into this. And has a lot of DLC and a lot of nods to shit as well. It plays very well on the Vita. The Vita is also a very good platform when it comes to like indie games. And as you guys can see, cross save. This is cross buy between the PS4 and the Vita, as well as PS3. And I'll remember if I said it for Retro City Rampage, but it's the same thing. So I'm gonna start the game here. Oh, I'm on new game. Yeah, I beat this already. The fucking, I don't know what's up with my analog stick, but it's been acting real weird lately. I might have to get it fixed or just get a new Vita. But as you guys can see, this isn't how you attack in this game. I just have like a certain armor set on. I have the Kratos armor set on, where you'll just essentially be able to attack with the weapon like that. And every time you kill a couple enemies, you'll be able to like fire a shot off like that. Because normally his attack is like a scoop animation. It's not necessarily like I'm gonna hit you with my shovel of death animation. Oh my god. And yeah, this game is really fun. I think it was like $10 when I got it. But I'm not going to get too deep into that. It's a very challenging game, too. So if you like challenging games, then that's the game for you. Now, a game that I want to get into is Berserk now. And if you guys have played like Dynasty Warriors or anything like that, that's essentially what this game is. It's just, think of like Hyrule Warriors for like the Wii U and 3DS, but it's Berserk instead, which fits really well. I think like the Dynasty Warriors license works very well for like being ported into other things. And as you guys can see, as I said, 14 hours and 30 minutes, I cleared 100% of the story. I haven't went through endless eclipse yet, or got any of a lot of the gallery yet, which I'm gonna work on too. And for $40, this is a really good, option. If you want something that's fun for the Vita, it looks good, Don't expect like PS4 graphics with the game. I would definitely say do not expect anything like that, because that's not what you're going to get here. But you're going to get good graphics regardless. I think for the Vita, it's also some pretty good for what the engine looks like. But I'll just do free mode. And the game loads really fast. Like, say you're already like in the game. See, my shit's doing that again. Give me a minute. I don't know what the fuck is up with this thing, man. But because it was not doing this shit. Give me a second. All right, so it doesn't really do that during gameplay. It only tends to really do that during menus. For my particular Vita, I don't know why. It's pretty beat up. So from here, when you pick a mission, you could essentially, since I'm in free mode, you could essentially pick any character that you want. That's No, I don't want that one. What part of... I want the realest. I want the realest guts. And as I'm saying, don't expect like amazing graphics, but the game looks good regardless. And it's only really like loading right now because I'm just booting up the game. But normally when you're playing the game, it'll just be like, it'll show this screen. They'll just say press X for next. It's very well optimized in that case. And I'm going to give you guys another tip. Say you're watching like gameplay for the Vita on like, I don't know, a TV or your phone or something. Never do that because the game will look worse than it looks on the Vita. I'd always say, since Google took the fucking YouTube app off the Vita, I'd say go on the browser, go to youtube.com and just look up any Vita game that you want or that you're thinking to buy and just watch it through the Vita screen because that'll give you a better indication of what the game looks like. Because it's never going to look amazing when you're watching it on a higher resolution screen. It never is. Like, even if you watch it on, like, your phone or something, which has a similar size screen. My bad, I had to check something. But as I was saying, always watch stuff on the Vita screen if you're looking for Vita games. Because if you don't, they'll just look like trash. They really will. The games look like trash and they'll turn you off. Because that has happened to me sometimes, and I just had to remember, oh, I actually got to watch it on the Vita. All right, so now I'm clearly not going to play this all the way, but I just want to give you guys a demo. It runs smoothly, too. Don't expect 60 frames out of this game because, hey, it's a Vita game. But it runs well and it plays well, very well. So my final verdict and thoughts, as far as the games I showed you, which are, I showed you guys Street Fighter Alpha 3. I showed you guys Berserk, obviously. I showed you guys Strider 2. I showed you guys Sly 3. Showed you guys Shovel Knight, and I just said, that's all 5 games that I showed you guys. Now, there are also games like Borderlands 2 that you can get. My Vita came with a code for that. Sorry, it stopped recording. So I pretty much have to go back to where I was talking again. And what I was essentially saying is that my Vita came with a code for Borderlands 2 because I got that bundle. And I played that game a lot between my PS4, my PS3, and my Vita. At least like 60 to 80 hours of it. And I enjoy it a lot. Now, what the fuck was that? Now, there are other games that I have, but I had to delete them due to the fact that the Vita memory cards are fucking expensive. And I've had to delete them for games that I truly want to play. But other than that, I really enjoy this handheld. It's probably one of my favorite handhelds I've ever had. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the games that I frequently play on here, and that I believe anybody should frequently should play on here as well as like Persona 4, God Eater Resurrection, like Guilty Gear Double X, I like whatever game that you want to look up, and I would say that they're good games. They are. They're really competent games. There are a lot of good games for the Vita. Don't let people that just shit talk the Vita because it's not a DS or 3DS sway you from not getting it. Because there are a lot of games for the Vita. There really are. Sure, some of them won't be your style. Some of them just seem really stupid, but try it out. Or just look it up online and you'll see what you may like. Now, as far as the Vita, that's pretty much it. I will be getting my G6 tomorrow. It's coming in the mail. If it doesn't come today anyway, it'll be coming tomorrow in the mail. So I will do an unboxing on that and everything too. I just wanted to get this out of the way because I said I was going to do it and haven't done it. But yeah, that's it, you guys. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for 125 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good one.